because of the calf injury and because of the future of the player and the team, CC has said, if you're the Cavs, shut Donovan Mitchell down. Do not risk it. Before we get to the other series that took place yesterday with the Thunder and the Nuggets, a horrible shooting game that went to the Thunder, tying up that series at 2 apiece. Jokic obviously has struggled for Jokic, even though he still leads the team in almost every category. But for him, he's been struggling. There was a little dust-up, so to speak, in the Pacers and Cavs game. So Benedict Mathurin and DeAndre Hunter, Mathurin of Indiana, Hunter of Cleveland, have been kind of jawing back and forth all series. So Mathurin did this move that he kind of, for lack of a better term, punched, I guess, Hunter, when really the refs and the fans probably were not even looking at it. And he did it just so Hunter would then fight back. And he kind of moved back, put his arms out to the side, and Hunter pushed him to the ground. I'm not sure the refs would have ever seen the punch by Mathurin if not for the push by Hunter, and Hunter was pointing to his head and his brain and like, hey, I outsmarted you. Mathurin was trying to get him to retaliate so the refs would see the retaliation. The refs ended up seeing the first punch, though. And now, I guess, technically, by letter of the law, there's a chance that Mathurin, who's been good in this series, may get suspended. Right? I mean, I technically?
Yeah, that's the part I'm not clear about. So he
got thrown out last night. I should have pointed that out.
He did punch him with a closed fist. Now, do they look at it from a standpoint of time served with the flagrant 2 ejection, or is it a situation where they're willing to take him off the court for Game 5? I don't know. There's no clarity beyond it. But I will say this. DeAndre Hunter, Virginia guy, not surprised that he pulled this move, got Benedict Mathurin ejected. But then after that, you did nothing. You did nothing in the game. Like, usually everybody benefits from taking one of the best wing defenders that the other team has off the court. But DeAndre Hunter, as a wing player, did nothing with it. This dude didn't make a field goal yesterday. Not one shot. He had what? He was 5 or 6 from the free throw line. Congratulations. Big whoop. But you didn't make a single field goal? And your team is down 40 at halftime? How does that make sense? When Benedict Mathurin got ejected, you're talking about the Pacers being up 12 points. They extended their lead significantly while taking one of their top 7 guys in the rotation off the court. That's the part where I struggle with if you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, if you're DeAndre Hunter, for all of this nonsense that's going on that has nothing to do with basketball. You didn't take advantage of the basketball element of it, which is one of their best players not playing the rest of the way. That makes no sense to me, Smalls.
So you can give him props for being cerebral enough to react in a way that called attention to Mathurin instigating it and getting him in trouble. But then you do have to take advantage of that situation.
No doubt.
You have to capitalize on the opportunity that you just created.
Yes.
And in the playoffs, there always is such a small margin for error anyway that I'm absolutely with you. They should have been able to do more with that. But shout out, though, to Hunter for reacting in a way that got Mathurin in a bad position, because after the official review, they gave him a more severe penalty. They said, you instigated this, you started the altercation. So we'll see how it bears out moving forward. But I loved that he was able to do that in a way that got the instigator in trouble.
I'm not sure there is such a thing as time served in the NBA. We're going to find out, right? Because I think in theory, it's a black and white rule of if you punch, then you get suspended.
Because it was a closed fist to the stomach.
It just was not like a full-fledged punch like you would think of a punch. It would be like you're doing that to your sibling, like you're kind of knocking into them a little bit. Like it wasn't like a fighting kind of punch.
It wasn't like a hook.
Yeah, I think exactly.
But it's still a closed fist to the stomach.
Yeah, no, you're right. It just felt like more of a push-off, and Mathurin clearly was trying to bait him, and Hunter took the bait, but it was bad for Mathurin because of that incident. They reviewed it.
Yeah, but I'm sitting here thinking about it now, like how smart was it by DeAndre Hunter? Because from that moment to halftime, you're talking about the Pacers outscoring the Cavs 58-29.
Right, but we didn't know that in the moment, obviously.
No, I'm saying we didn't know that in the moment, but we never know what instances can be the catalyst for a team being able to go on a run, for a team being energized, for a team getting the crowd involved at home. Like, that was one of those things. We're thinking about it as a moment for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, maybe you can get the series to turn by getting one of their guys off the court. And when, in fact, the series did turn because everybody was galvanized behind what took place in that fisticuffs that Benedict Mathurin and DeAndre Hunter got into. It ended up being a net positive for the Pacers in a huge way. So again, DeAndre Hunter pointed to his hand saying, you got to be smart, you got to be smart. Yeah, you got to be smart. You have to take advantage of one of their better players being out of the game. You didn't, and conversely, it was a rally moment for the Indiana Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
We are on Sportscenter here on ESPN Radio. The other game last night, or yesterday, Oklahoma City and Denver, they're now tied at 2 apiece after a 92-87 Oklahoma City win at Denver. SGA did have 25, 6, and 6. He had 8 points in the final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Nobody else on Oklahoma City had more than 11. They didn't need the scoring because Denver only scored 8 points in the first half of this game. Jokic had 27 and 13, only 3 assists. And he missed free throws down the stretch. He doesn't look 100% like himself. I always look at the assist numbers with him because that's what he wants to do. He wants to facilitate for everyone else. And the 3 assists is obviously very low. Aaron Gordon, Aaron Gordon may be the easiest player in the NBA for everybody to like, regardless of what team you root for. That guy is just awesome. And he just plays his role perfectly. But the Nuggets got stuff from him, but not enough from Jokic. And post-game, Jokic had this to say on struggling with the shooting in this series.
I mean, it's a little bit of everything, you know. They're playing really good defense on me. They're really, to my body, handsy, physical. And I think I missed like 2-3 open looks tonight. So it's a little bit of everything, you know. They're shrinking the ball. They're shrinking the floor for me. They're having guy behind the defender. So it's a little bit of everything, you know. So I need to do a better job, of course, but it's part of the game.
I have no worries that Jokic is going to snap out of this, but I mean, there's an argument they should be up 3-1 in this series.
Yes.
They had that game yesterday.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. I mean, Nikola Jokic missed a couple of free throws down the stretch. Aaron Gordon missed a couple of free throws with less than a minute to go. Michael Porter missed a bunny in the lane, little fadeaway shot.
Russ 3.
That would have made it a one-possession game. Russell Westbrook. There were so many missed opportunities that the Denver Nuggets had, but it was just that kind of game. That was an ugly basketball game to watch. I mean, the score at the end of the first quarter was 17-8.
Yeah, so bad.
I mean, they're the Denver Nuggets, but both teams were laying bricks in Ball Arena yesterday. It was just an absolute embarrassment. It was abysmal to watch. That being said, you got to find a way to be able to win ugly games. It's playoff basketball. And for the others not to be able to do enough to pick up Nikola Jokic is a little bit disappointing. Like, we know that the Oklahoma City Thunder, they have a lot of bigs in the lineup that they can throw at Nikola Jokic. They're doing it by committee defensively. That's why he's gone 3 straight games with shooting under 40% from the field. But when you have the focus of the other team's defensive efforts on your best player, if you're those other stars, if you're Jamal Murray, if you're Russell Westbrook, if you're Aaron Gordon, you got to find a way to step up. Michael Porter, you got to find a way to step up. And those guys haven't. And it's something that we've been talking about with the Denver Nuggets for the last several seasons. Like, Jamal Murray is supposed to be that second star, but he hasn't proven to always be reliable. Now, in the postseason, more so than the regular season, he's shown up. But that being said, it's not as if we're assigning an all-star moniker or label to Jamal Murray. There isn't that second star that can carry your team in the postseason if you're the Denver Nuggets, and that's the question mark around whether or not this team is going to be able to take advantage of Nikola Jokic at the height of his powers.
Will this series go 7, Smalls? Answer that coming up. Plus, we got to get to the Knicks and the Celtics, the Warriors and the Wolves. And tonight is draft lottery night, which we are going to find out after tonight, depending on what team gets the number 1 pick. If Giannis is going to continue to pick Wisconsin, or could he pick another team? Picking a place to...
Chào cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng với dòng chữ là Coca. Bây giờ mình sẽ bắt đầu làm nhé.
Bảo sao lần trước thì chị so lại phân chưa hết những chuyện này, thế nào chị làm chúng con thường không biết rõ là do chị bé bé ra chị có
Úi giời, Thành ơi, nó sẽ trong nước nóng. Chị đang lọc cà phê cho mèo ạ.
không biết là hôm nay
Phải chấp. Kinh tế đấy, đi lọc từ tận 1 giờ 2 rưỡi giờ
đấy cái gì đấy, ai cho con, ai cho mà gọi nhá, đi về các anh các cụ đang quay video xong rồi ai các em đi trò lắm đấy, con ăn đi.
Chỉ làมันก็เป็นเรื่องsao với được cơn quen. Chị đang lọc rồi. Và hôm nay đặt thịt luôn này, không phải lo. Ơi. Hôm nay lớp mình nhiều đứa bị bắt rồi.
Anh vừa đánh mất học sinh mẹ. Em mùng quay với 2 sinh mẹ. 2 cái thịt non. Em bỏ không như là ăn cùng về theo. Buồn quá, em đánh mất học sinh mẹ. Mẹ là bị chết, tại vì không phải lúc nào. Thế thì không phải đánh mất, nhưng mình vẫn bị chịu trách nhiệm. Lòng cho làm cái màu đèn. Xem cái gì cười lúc khác. Cái cơn nữa. Ông yêu, vừa nãy anh đi kia anh vừa thấy có một con chim bé tí như con mẹ đi rơi sao ấy. Biết con mẹ đi rơi. Nắp bẹt ở chỗ ngoài đường nhưng mà chim non mà con đấy còn chưa còn nói có 1-2 ngày.
Gia sữa chuyên gia về giải trí nghĩa.
Nó ở ngay ngõ nhà anh kiểu đang đi qua bên dưới con chim nó bé tí mà nó chắc là bị xè cá như thế.
Nghĩa thì chắc khi mới đầu xìa xuống dưới đất bị đâm.
Chắc thế tức là nó kiểu nó cứ nghịch nghịch kia thì nó rơi khỏi tỏ tí. Ba 30 tháng 4 năm 7 có kiểu 12 em. Hay em nhận kiểu có khác.
Berlin đấy.
À được rồi, không biết lên gửi kiểu bên nào.
Cái gì cơ?
Tận 5 hôm mà bị điên. Nghỉ tận 5 hôm.
Chơi đâu?
Đi chơi chứ.
Nghỉ tận 5 hôm, đi vào hôm nào thì đi, hôm nào mình có.
Đúng rồi.
Đi đâu?
Không biết bảo vậy nhưng mà đi đâu đây.
Bọn mình đi Berlin.
Berlin là đâu?
Một lâu anh vừa nhận kéo đi Đồng Đỏ cái kéo đi các gì hay không?
Thì dân mình đã phải học quả cà chua.
Là cái nhóm
Các
đó
bạn hãy
đấy.
đánh kênh và like của Dung mình.
Ai đi Đồng Đỏ chưa? Ai đi Đồng Đỏ?
Chị đi 2 lần rồi.
Berlin là đâu?
Chả có cái gì.
Thế
Đi vào đúng lễ cho nên
Berlin là
là
đâu? Là tốn tiền.
đi vào đúng lễ nó vừa đắt hơn mà nó vừa yếu điện nữa. Tại vì nó ở trên núi kéo điện lên nó khó.
Thế mà lúc bạn đi ra ngắn này thôi.
Berlin.
Ừ.
Berlin có
To 79.
Anh xin phép này đi. Này
là cái gì?
anh cho em.
Thế này bây giờ